The first thing we need to do before we spend a cent on ads is to get our strategy right. Understanding who our ideal client is critical. Once you have that ideal client clearly in mind, you're going to want to think about your objectives. There's so many different things that ads can achieve for you. What are the objectives of your ad campaign? Are you looking for more brand awareness? Are you looking for sales? Are you looking for inquiry, lead generation? Stop and don't spend another single cent on advertising until you listen to this. I'm Marianne Amies. This is Ready, Set, Paid Ads, digital marketing for paid ad success. Let's go. Let's talk about foundations for ad success. A huge part of this podcast is going to be talking about optimizing your whole business to succeed in paid ads, because the truth is, it's not your ads alone that are causing you to fail at ads. It's your whole ecosystem and your approach to ads. Let's dive straight into foundations for ad success. The first thing we need to do before we spend a cent on ads is to get our strategy right. Understanding who our ideal client is critical. I recommend going over to the Marketing with Confidence podcast and listening to the episodes on crafting your ideal client strategy. This is where we get so clear on who is the best person for us to target for our solution or benefit. It's about not trying to be all things to all people. And when we're so clear on our ideal client and who we can best serve, we start to formulate an effective marketing strategy for our business. Once you have that ideal client clearly in mind, you're going to want to think about your objectives. There's so many different things that ads can achieve for you. What are the objectives of your ad campaign? Are you looking for more brand awareness? Are you looking for sales? Are you looking for inquiry, lead generation, add to cart? We hear about the funnel again and again, and you need to think about that marketing funnel and your business. How are you operating at the top of funnel, where people don't know you, the middle of funnel, where they're warm, and the bottom of funnel, when they're ready to do business with you? And set your objectives for your ads to either leverage the areas of the funnel you're up to, or to help fill the funnel so that you've got more to come through to converting. So your objectives might be things like clicks to a website, filling in a form, shopping and checking out. And those objectives, together with that ideal client, are really going to help us formulate the strategy for ad success. Then you want to make a plan. Now, I think it's good to maybe plan 3 months to 6 months ahead to begin with. So you're going to want to look at those objectives and the sorts of ads you're going to need to achieve them. If it's very top of funnel, you might need some always on ads. So campaigns that are running all the time and are generally building awareness for who you are and what you do best. You might have seasonal ads. So there might be certain times of year that are really busy for you. You might be a men's wallet business and Father's Day is around the corner. Or it might be that you're a skincare business and in winter, you want some seasonal ads that really address the winter skincare needs. So thinking about seasonal factors, and then obviously tactical factors. You might be looking at that plan and saying, well, our sales are always down in April. So what ads are we going to do in April to try buck that trend? Or after payday is coming up, how are we going to leverage that tactically to generate sales or inquiry for our business? So once we have that plan, we have a vision of where we want to go with our ads and how we're going to need to manage our ads differently month in, month out, because we don't want to run the same ads all the time. We want our ads to support those objectives. And those objectives are all about connecting with that ideal client and taking them on a journey to conversion. And so finally, in that strategy, we want to look at channel selection. So thinking about those plans, thinking about those objectives. What are the channels where our ideal client are going to be ready for those messages so that we can go on that journey together to achieve those objectives? So what do I mean in terms of that? Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Google ads, Bing ads? What is going to be the ad platform that can deliver you the objectives, deliver you the results that match where your ideal client is. And it's not about where you love marketing. It's about where your ideal client loves hearing from you, loves discovering you, loves researching you. And that is going to be the difference. So when we have our strategy in place, the next piece of the puzzle for ad success is our digital ecosystem. And I want you to think more and more of your digital assets, your digital activities as an ecosystem because it all feeds each other. So when I think of a digital ecosystem and what I want to be really optimized and performing before I start my ads, I of course think of a website. Now, we know that not every business needs a website, but I kind of feel like 99.9% do. And although you can run ads and they can go through to Instagram objectives or they can go through, to forms, having a website is always going to give someone a checkpoint. And what I can tell you from managing millions of dollars in ad spend over the last decade is that people don't necessarily act on that ad. So a Facebook ad can often lead to an email sign up, which can lead to an email click and maybe a purchase. Or a Google ad might then lead to a Facebook retargeting ad that days later leads to a Google organic search when I remember that ad and I want to go and learn more. Now, when we hit that organic search, if you don't have a website, if you don't exist, that conversation, that journey ends there for you. So having a website that's optimized and performs well is a huge piece of the puzzle. And if your ads aren't performing, look at yourself, look at your website, look at your ecosystem, what's happening in the ecosystem. And that's really the same with a strong organic profile. When you are investing time or money in your organic profile, you are almost doing it a disservice to not run ads against it. And likewise, if you're investing heavily in ads, you're doing yourself a disservice to not have strong organic content because we're all collecting information. We're all looking at these various digital touch points to decide if what I got told in an ad is true, to decide if the trust and credibility is there for this business and if I'm ready to check out, engage, inquire, sign up. So a strong organic presence complements your ad strategy as a further checkpoint for trust and credibility. You want to have your email marketing strategy really clear in your ecosystem. If you're generating lots of traffic to your website, how are you capturing the people that don't buy, don't inquire, don't sign up? What can we do to incentivize them and motivate them to hand over their email address and agree to come into our email marketing sphere and receive ongoing communications from us? Email marketing and your email marketing list is so important. And I can't stress that enough as thinking of it as an asset of your business. Jump over to the Marketing with Confidence podcast and listen to the episode on first party data, and you'll start to understand how important it is to be collecting email data all the time, especially if you're paying per click to send people to your website. If you can then own them within your marketing list and be sending valuable emails, nurturing them, keeping them warm, inciting them to purchase at a later date, you're saving yourself money on the continual injection of top of funnel that you need in your paid advertising campaigns. Your ecosystem should have tracking set up. So firstly, using something like Google Analytics or Shopify Analytics if you're in Shopify. I mean, look, for me, Google is the pinnacle of analytics. Shopify Analytics are pretty awesome, but there's still some gaps in terms of attribution. So being able to see what actions in the ecosystem resulted in checkouts, abandoned carts, browsing. We can see a lot more detail in Google Analytics than we can do in Shopify. So making sure you have tracking set up, because again, if we're investing money, part of that success is being able to determine what the results are. And that means having your pixels connected, which feels like jargon. It's a great conversation for your web developer, but having your Facebook pixel connected, your TikTok pixel connected, your Google Ads pixel connected. And what pixels are is the communication between your ad platform and your website and analytics. And it means then we can have a vision of what happens when people click that ad, and it helps the platforms learn how to get you better results and how to get you more results. It also helps you learn what's working and what's not. And that brings me to my next point in your ecosystem is having a really strong plan of what success looks like. I was speaking to a mentee earlier today, and she said to me, we're doing a lot of social media, but it's not working. We boost posts and it's not working. And then we kind of dove into this conversation more. And she said, like, this reel we posted yesterday, it's had, I think, 50 profile views and 11 followers. And I said to her, what is your vision for success? What does success look like for you? And in her mind, success were likes and comments. So there weren't likes and comments on that post. Therefore, it was not successful. Whereas from my point of view, followers to the page, extremely valuable. Profile views, people seeking out more information, possibly clicking on your website, extremely powerful. So having a very clear plan of what success looks like is critical before you begin, and making sure that tracking can support you in finding the data to help you analyze what success looks like. And then having KPIs that are set back to those objectives. You set objectives at the top. So now your plan of success needs to be around those objectives. If your number one objective is generating revenue and having revenue positive ad campaigns, then success looks like money in the bank. Success looks like checkouts, purchases, ROAS, return on actual sales, on actual spend data goals. That is what success looks like. But if your objective is awareness, then success might be follows. Success might be email signups. Success might be likes and comments. So you have to look at those objectives and use that and have a really clear picture of what success looks like for you, so you're not judging your campaigns against the wrong criteria. And then finally, when we think about our foundations for ad success, it comes down to who's going to manage that account for you. If you plan to DIY your ads, and this podcast series is going to give you so much content to help you DIY or to help you manage other people that you outsource your ads to. But if your plan is to DIY, you need to skill yourself in the platforms, and then you need to continually be reading, listening, consuming what is changing on those platforms, what is working, what is evolving, what's not working, and really listen and take that information in and be testing all the time. There is no blueprint for success with social media ads or Google ads or paid ads. There is the testing and learning process that never ends. You are always looking to improve. You're always looking to adapt because the platforms will change. We know it. My God, do we know it? Just when you think you've got everything optimized and working, they will push through a change and your ads won't perform and you're back to basics. So if you're going to DIY, you're going to need to have a couple of hours at least each week to look at your data, to make decisions based on your data, but also to continually be taking in information and upskilling yourself in how to manage them. And if you're going to outsource your ads and trust somebody else, get that strategy piece locked solid. So find an ads management partner that will help you create that strategy. Or if you create the strategy, get them to sanity check it. Nobody wants to run a strategy that they don't agree with. If you gave a strategy to an ads partner and they went, cool, we'll run this with this, I'd be really concerned. I'd want them to be asking questions, to be fact checking, to be using their own expertise to really nail what it should be about. And then I think making that plan together and then having them audit your ecosystem. Again, I'd be really concerned with a digital ads partner that doesn't have a conversation with you about your website, about your other marketing activities, about your pixels and tracking, because that is part of that ecosystem. And just running ads in isolation and analyzing ads based on platform data is not enough to know if ads are succeeding or not. So foundations for ad success are a huge part of optimizing your business to succeed in paid ads. So get out there and get advertising. That's a wrap on another episode of Ready, Set, Paid Ads. If you're looking for done-for-you services, training to upskill you in ads management, or free and paid resources to help you plan and execute better ads, head to wiseupmarketing.com.au. If you've loved this episode, be sure to subscribe for future episodes. And if you know someone that would love this podcast too, go on and share it.